This is yes. Welcome everybody. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Oh, we got someone else in the house here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited about it. Big Kahuna, how are you?
I'm so excited.
Duck Vo.
I'm a little excited. This is new to me.
I'm super pumped. Struggling to hide my
Direction.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 11 of Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs. We're here in somewhat of a studio, and I'm super pumped to welcome my good friend, Duck Vo.
Thanks.
All right,
Thank
shut
you.
up.
Thank
Shut
you.
up now.
Thanks.
Shut up at the back.
Oh,
Now-
thanks.
Yep. And Duck, you are the proud dad of Reggie the Mini Bulldog.
Proudish dad of
Reggie the Aussie Mini Bulldog.
Reggie the mini bulldog.
Yeah, Mini Bulldog.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk today about how you've done such a good job training him and all that. Actually, I forgot. We need to do something first because you are the first guest that we've had since I've created this jingle, and I'm so pumped about it that I couldn't not do it.
I
so
get a jingle.
Here we go. Yeah,
Sweet.
you get your own jingle.
I love it.
Are you ready?
Please welcome our girl. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met.
Oh shit!
God.
I can't believe you make all those.
Yeah, and you know, and
People-
you know, I do those.
People got to
vocals too.
realise that Josh sits home and with no one else around and just records by himself in a room all day.
For sure.
This is
I'm
what
sure he's
happens.
doing
This is great stuff.
Yeah.
it's all happening here in the studio. But welcome to episode 11. We're glad to have you here. If you are here, we're going to talk about some interesting stuff. I hope you guys are primed and ready. This is actually a cover of one of my favourite songs that I've made.
It's a cover of a song that you've made.
No. Big Kahuna with the big hits. It's a knockout. All right. Everybody get ready and sit back and relax because we're coming at you hard. Do you dance like this forever? Oh, goodness me. You look less than enthused with that, Duke.
That is delightful.
That is just shit. Anyways, so as of recent, pretty recent, there's little Reggie out there.
He's having
He's
some
looking.
fun.
He's looking so handsome.
He
He's
looks
having
like
fun.
he's just running away from Arrow.
He is. He is. He thinks he's killing
Yeah.
it. That's what I think.
Arrow's like, "Hey, aren't you that dog?"
He's like, what? Then he,
I'm
runs,
just-
then he runs off.
And I just need to adjust these knobs here because we're hitting some yellow in the old. There we go. That's a bit better. All right, everybody
that is
talk in there.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're not as loud.
That's better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But anyways, you are the dad of Reggie the Mini Bulldog.
I am.
And he has just shot to Instagram and internet fame.
Viral fame.
Viral fame. He was on the project a few weeks ago, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yes. They didn't even tell me about that. They just put it up. And then I was at work and I got all these texts saying, "Is that you on the project?" And I was like,
And it was you.
and I was like, I will
don't
check
think
in
so.
2 hours time when I'm home.
And it was you.
And it was me.
It was most certainly you.
They brought back a segment for that one clip of Reggie jumping off the boxes as well.
Shit.
That was a canned segment, and then they brought it back for it. So that was fun.
That is pretty. That's sensational, and it was because he's got a very particular style of
Set of skills.
He's Liam Neeson of the dog world. He will find you and he will kill you in your
He will
sleep.
find me and he will lick every orifice that I have open.
But since that's happened, Doc, you have had to field a lot of questions on Reggie's Instagram page and your Instagram page from people that want to know things about where he's from,
What he eats.
what he eats, what you brush him with,
Where he poops, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything under the sun. But so we thought we'd get you on here today to talk about what we call as dog trainers free shaping, and how you've captured a lot of those behaviours and how you've effectively reinforced them so that he continues to perform those behaviours over and over again with absolute hilarity.
I myself don't know what free shaping is.
Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to actually talk about this with you because I don't know. Like, I'll explain what free shaping is to you, and then you can explain if that's how you did it or if there's another way that you did it.
Yeah.
But free shaping is where you don't put any input at all, so you're not trying to get the dog to do anything, and they just do behaviors, and then you reward them. There's another thing which is just plain shaping, where you do a little bit of input where you're trying to get them to do something, and then when they do it, then you reward it, but you're not doing a whole lot of guiding or anything like that.
Bit of a mix.
Yeah.
Started off with free shaping, kind of let him do his own thing, and then I would pull the reins in a bit. So, like crate training, to start off, I'd left the crate open, I didn't push him into there. He did his own thing. If he went in there, awesome. Then he'd get fed in there and whatever. And then after that, it was then the plain shaping started.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Also, a lot of capturing behaviours. We were just talking before about his command growl, which would be... I would think that would be very hard because there's a very fine line between a growl and a bark, and the dog, you've only got a certain amount of time, like you said, to capture that and cut it off to make the dog understand that this is the behaviour I'm supposed to perform, which is the growl, instead of his speak, which is the bark. And can you just explain how you captured that behaviour?
This is funny. He, like every other dog, sits in front of the window at the front of our house, and he just watches, because we have a school in front of our house as well. So there's people constantly walking back and forward.
Those
He will
bloody
look-
kids.
He will look to the left and right and just growl as someone walks
Like
by.
like a machine gunner.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah.
mowing them down.
He thinks he's just killing people left and right.
We need to get that as a sound clip.
Yeah, we do.
So people will be walking by. He'll give a little growl, and the thing is, I already know that for a dog to start there, it kind of becomes more and more aggressive.
Yep.
If you kind of let him go. So I was like, I'll
You're going to cap it.
as you say, I'll capture this.
Yep.
And then turn it into a trick. So
Yep.
every time he growled as someone walked by, so I would have to wait for someone to walk by. I would say growl, give him a treat, and then he kind of
Because you knew that he was going to reliably perform that behaviour.
that's right.
And then...
Because I was just trying to cut him off. Because
Exactly.
then he started barking.
Yep.
So before he'd see someone walk by, he'll growl, or he'll look at me first. Then I'll say growl. Then we'd wait for his treat. He's like, oh yes, I did it at the right time.
And he's gone from seeing that person as like a threat to go away and make sure you get out of here, like we've spoken about once before, to now being an opportunity for reward.
Now
Each
he's looking
time.
at the front of the house like, oh, I hope someone
He's
goes
like,
by.
Yeah, that's right.
Come
that's right.
here,
So,
big boy.
Then he looks at me. I'm like, no, there's no one there.
And also, I didn't
Trying to
ask
trick,
you.
trying to trick
Also,
you into
You
it.
did it wrong.
Now, are you using anything like a marker, like a clicker or anything like that?
No, but I do realize that I do snap my fingers.
You do
So
that,
you do-
and you say yes,
Yeah, I say yes.
yeah. So that is your marker.
That's
Yeah.
my marker.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you, without knowing it, you've been marking things perfectly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I was just watching you out there before, and I was like, holy shit, like you do it a lot better than what I do, because I just get lazy.
I don't realize I'm doing it. That's
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
like,
It just comes naturally.
it just comes
to you.
natural to you. Now, you've had... Reggie's not your first dog.
No, we've had heaps of dogs growing up.
Yeah.
but the just mutts and like weird dogs that mum and dad have picked up from like an Asian market. Like, hey, I brought home a dog. I'm like, we're not gonna eat it, right? Yeah. No, we're keeping this one. And then
This one.
It's all right, because you've got Vietnamese heritage, so I didn't say that.
I can say that.
I'm not racist.
Asian.
Because you're Asian. Can you do your Vietnamese accent for us?
A bit later, mate. No, I had my sister and I raised a Rottweiler before.
What was his name?
His name was Yoshi.
Oh, Super Mario Brothers.
Super intelligent dog.
Yep.
Awesome to train as well, and we were just we trained him the way I trained Reggie, just like
Yep.
kind of do whatever you want, but he's also a Rottweiler as well. So
He's a lot bigger than
yeah, but
Reginald.
he's a lot more intelligent.
You reckon?
Yeah, Reggie's smart, but he's a
Reggie's very
doofus.
smart. I this is the probably second or third time I've ever interacted with Reggie. The first when he was only real small, he was about the size of a little baguette, and but now you can just see how through what you've done with him to this point in his life, he just sees everything as an opportunity for success and reward. He has the tools to dictate what happens in his environment, which is so empowering for him, and you can see why he's so happy. And you've got him to a point now, and it's evident whenever he jumps off those boxes. Have you seen? I've shown you.
No.
I've shown you him jumping.
Oh wait, yeah, you did show me that.
jump-
Yeah.
And he gets so much satisfaction out of just
praise.
praise. Which, you know, if you can get a dog to work for praise, like when he was doing that thing for you before, like you snap your fingers and he comes up and high fives your hand, like headbutts your hand, and then everybody's laughing, like he's getting off on
loving
that.
that.
He's
He's a little
loving
class
it.
clown.
Yeah,
It's funny.
he's-
I laugh at him,
yeah,
not with him.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks everyone's laughing with him.
yeah, and you can see,
Yeah. He loves people laughing for some reason, and he loves just being pet.
Yeah,
It's
man.
as simple as that. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't even give him much treats. Maybe the first
Yeah.
2-3 days,
That-
and then that's it.
He's
Yeah.
fit as a fiddle.
he is fit
He's,
too.
for a bulldog, he's super fit.
Yeah. He is a super little dude.
Yeah.
But why don't we talk about? So I met you in the army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
That's right.
We met in the army.
I saved you from
You
one of
did,
the other
man.
guys.
Yeah, you did.
So Josh and I met. We were out doing an exercise,
Yep.
and one of our colleagues told him to man the radios when we all went to a position together.
I was a newbie.
He was
Yeah.
fresh.
There was so much moisture behind my ears. It was ridiculous.
And he sat there on the radios listening, but you don't need to do that when all the vehicles are in the same
In the
area.
harbour, in the same harbour.
So one of the guys put him there, and I'm like, "What are you doing in there, mate? Get out of there!" He's like, "But I got told to mount the radio." And then I yelled at the bloke that put you in there.
Oh yeah, that was circle jerk shirt.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing, Shirk? Are you
Cir-
serious, mate? Why'd
circle-
you put him in there?"
Shirky, if you're listening, I hope you don't have a good life.
Yeah. Shirky, if you're listening, you're a dick.
He probably won't be listening.
No,
he doesn't know how to use his
Then
ears.
Then I dragged Josh out of there, and then we've been good buds ever since.
Yeah.
See?
And circle jerk shirt got ripped off the Afghan trip. Remember that?
He did.
Yeah.
Just for not
Just because he couldn't pass danger close.
just because he couldn't
Because he
perform
sucks.
basic soldierly skills. Hey, be a basic soldier. No. All right, you're out.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Anyway,
Where do you see Reggie going? Like, what do you want to ultimately achieve
into
with
the garage.
Ellen?
into the? He's going in there right now.
You reckon you can get him onto Ellen?
Oh man.
That's probably the last person who have touched this video yet, because everyone from pretty high up, so like 9gag has
Yeah.
contacted me, and then
My dad loves that app.
does he?
Yeah.
I think
So
they've
no
got-
doubt he's seen it.
I think they've got 100 million
Yeah.
followers,
And
then,
Dad's one of them.
Then it's
Oh,
Uni
yeah.
Uni Bible
Yes.
and Uni/Lad Bible,
Lad Bible. Yep.
90 million.
Oh, shit.
75, sorry,
Yep.
million, and then the other ones under that as well, who have all contacted me.
Reggie just flipped me the bird from outside.
He's a dingus.
Look at
He's
him
like,
out there.
"Dad, help!
He's like,
These dogs are too big. I want to come inside."
and then he looked at Josh and was like, "Josh, you're a bitch."
I know this is your house, but I'm gonna piss in the cupboard.
I've left you a shit under the rug. How'd you get under there? So Ellen
Secret breathing
Ellen
techniques.
is the next.
Ellen.
next thing. But this is what's customs. It's hard to get through.
Well, I don't know if they might make some.
You'd be fine getting
especially-
there.
Yeah, you'd be fine getting there. It's
You
just
can't
getting
come
him
back.
back.
Yeah,
You'd
they
be on a
wouldn't-
6-month trip.
They wouldn't even let Johnny Depp's dogs into the
Yeah.
bloody
Yeah, but
country.
Australia's quarantine laws are a lot different. So Australia and New Zealand are very similar.
There's no rabies here.
There's no rabies, so we can get dogs into the US. I think it's in a pretty limited time, but
Like
getting
coming back.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a whole heap of tests and stuff. So
You have to do a rabies test and then do another rabies test 6 months later. And as long as nothing has changed, then they can come back.
Are they confined at somewhere else though?
So,
yeah, they're in. You go, Steve.
Yeah, so there's a quarantine process where now you could do the test here, and then wait 6 months, go on the trip, and then just before you leave there, do the test again. So as soon as you get there, essentially, you do the test again.
Yeah.
So then you've got the 6 months in between, so they can compare the results. And then when you fly back, if you've got that done, then he stays in quarantine for 10 days.
Right.
So it's still 10 days, but it's it used to be a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've looked into going home. Like sometimes I go home back to Canada for a relatively long time, and when I go back there, I sort of want to bring the dogs, but I've realized it's just not going to be worth it because when they come back, they have to go in quarantine for 10 days, and it's like it costs you like $1,000 just to have them in quarantine
Holy Toledo.
each.
Wow.
Ellen would pay for that, right?
Yes. Ellen, if you're listening, I love Dory. Dory was the main character in Finding Nemo, if you ask me. So.
And Finding Dory.
Ellen, get this man on the show.
Yes.
Because I know she listens.
She
Oh
listens.
yes,
Yeah.
of course she does.
She has a lovely haircut.
She loves animals, man.
Yeah, but she listens to us.
Yeah.
We had George Bush call
She
us
doesn't
last
just
week.
listen. Yeah, it's
Have you
crazy.
listened to that yet?
No.
Oh man, you should listen to that
Georgie was
conversation.
all over the phone,
Yeah,
yeah.
Georgie was hot to trot,
Oh,
wasn't he?
he was off his head.
All right. So for the people out there, what's a trick that? Because remember we were meant to field the question about the skateboard trick,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we're so bad at following up, but because you're here, I thought it'd be a good opportunity. So if you were going to teach little Reggie,
I was gonna actually teach little Reggie.
I think that you might
Yeah.
still do it, because I remember you saying a while back that you wanted to get him like a skateboard for his birthday or for Christmas or something.
So I did get him a skateboard for his birthday, but I started off the learning curve too steep. It's too narrow for him.
Nice.
So he actually, the first 5 minutes I got him, he got about 1.5 meters on it, with 3 legs on and 1 leg off.
Yeah.
pushing
Holy.
it. And I was like, okay, you got something here.
So he already
he
yeah,
did
Just
it.
basically
he
doing
did it.
it.
He's
did
just
it.
basically done it. And he's
Yeah.
like, next.
Yeah. And I was like,
He
okay.
just puts on his little lab coat and goes to work for NASA.
Yeah.
He's like, I can make rockets fly. Like tapping away at a keyboard.
You know that meme of the cat just like slapping the keyboard?
Yeah. Slapping the BS.
So, but I haven't really harnessed that kind of potential yet. He did it, and then I kind of put his skateboard away. He did it. He's probably done
Yeah.
it for 10 minutes of work, but I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
And then you just substituted that for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4
Yeah.
on an old PS1
Yeah.
platform.
But
Yeah.
see, this is the thing. He already knows. Like you put something new in front of him, and he knows to do something with it. Like,
Exactly.
There's got to be, he knows he's learned how to learn through the way that you brought him up. So
And that's the hardest part, really.
it is, yeah.
You
Yeah.
see these things here, like the little mic stands? Like whenever I walked out with something in my hand, he was like, boom. Like he's going to
Something
want
new.
Yeah, he's going to want me to do something with this. You know, and
Well, we put the microphone in front of his face for the photo.
Yeah, and he
he
just-
was like, "What do I do with it? Do I play with it? Do I
Yeah.
bite it? Do I lick it? Like, what do I do?"
And he gives you about 15 seconds to take photos. Like he sniffed the microphone for a bit.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, now's your time. And I was like, okay, I'll take photos then. But I think it started off real little though. It was just touching my hand when it was a pup. I'd put stuff to treat between my fingers and it was
Yep.
just touch.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where it started.
And so
pretty much.
that's what we call training through successive approximation.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweet
Oh,
Jesus,
it's going off
Is
out
that-
there. Arrow's got a blue ball. It's Scuba's losing his biscuits in the garage.
Because Arrow's running around
Yeah,
with the ball going.
He's like, nee, 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 nee.
They're playing the ball chasey game that every dog plays.
Yes, yeah.
It's fun.
Scuba does that to Joe, and then Joe catches him and humps him into submission. Big Kahuna's leaving the building currently. He's closing the door. Thank you, big guy.
There we go.
Yeah, I've only just recently run into a problem where Scoobs is coming to an age where he's developing more physically, and by that I mean his balls have dropped.
9 months. He's about 9
And
months.
Joey has now decided that at every opportunity when he's not chasing the flirt pole, that he will try and hump him into submission.
So if he's got a ball in his mouth or he's got something in his mouth,
Joey,
it's just like,
if Joey's got a ball in his mouth still,
can't
like
He just has the
Yeah.
ball in his mouth and just does it.
yeah, it looks like, and Scuba does as well. Like sometimes it looks real weird because Scoobs has got this. Scoobs has got this like little blue Kong ball in his mouth, and like Joey's like, "You gonna get it? Oh, that's it. Touch my belly button. You see my truck? I'm a big man.
you gonna get it.
Yeah, I don't know why he's from like Texas or like. He's got like
Where'd you get that cigar from?
yeah, and
You gonna get it.
he's got like an obnoxiously big belt buckle, like cowboy hat. And he's like,
Spurs.
yeah,
What?
yeah. He's like, my daddy is an oil magnate. You gonna get it? Man, I've had way too many concussions, eh? That and coupled with like started smoking weed when I was like 16, so
That's not great.
that's not going to help you.
Nah.
No, it
Nah,
doesn't help.
it's basically just mashed potato and peas up there. It's nutritious for someone, just not for me. Oh shit!
Where were we at? We were talking about the skateboard.
We were talking about the
Oh,
skateboard,
right.
yeah. Sorry, guys. I got on the Terps again last night, so
Yeah.
I was bashing the cat.
Were you bashing the cat?
Han started bashing the cat first,
Come on.
and then she's like, "Yeah,
Irresponsible.
how about you?" I was about to say, and she's like, "How about you bash the cat as well?" And I did.
What are we talking?
The vodka up there,
Yep.
staring at me.
You were into vodka last night?
Yeah, man.
Savage.
I know.
What?
I know. It does weird things to me too.
Yeah.
It's like
School
not like
night,
beer.
man.
Yeah, but you know, we're
What you gonna do, baby?
What are you gonna do?
What you gonna do, baby?
Oh,
how good is that show?
Oh,
Big
I
Mouth.
love
Yeah.
that show, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, we were talking about
Oh, the skateboard.
skateboard.
So he started off. Obviously, I brought the skateboard out.
Yeah.
I put it on the floor,
Yes.
and he went up to it as he does everything. Gave it a sniff, and I was like, "Cool, that's good."
Yeah. That's a
Praise.
start.
Small praise. I'm like,
Yep.
sweet. And then I think I put it away because I was like, I had to go. And then I came back.
That was done.
Yeah, we're finished. So
Set and done.
that's a bit of progress.
Yeah.
Put it on the floor, put something new on the floor. He came over, had a sniff. I'm like, cool. And then I just like, give me a hand. And he gave me his paw. And then I put it on the, the skateboard.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Then he felt it move. And then he was a bit startled from that.
Yep.
And then I was like, it's all right, mate. It's all right. And then
Yep.
kind of just built from that baby steps.
Nice.
And then pretty much 5 minutes later, he was
Running across the room and
Jumping
jumping
onto
onto it. Bang.
An important point I'm going to make here is there's no negative reinforcement, and there's certainly no positive punishment.
Yeah.
It's all just like his idea and he's learning. So, and then he's getting positive reinforcement through praise or a treat after he accomplishes little steps along the way.
Especially when
is-
it comes to new things like
100%,
that. I
man.
don't want to, like, when it was puppy, the vacuum cleaner was a bit much. But now
Yeah.
he's all right with it because I had to turn the vacuum on, leave it there.
Nice.
Then I'm like, come on, man.
Man, you are a better dog trainer
nope.
than I am.
He's like, nope, all right, I'm all right. I'm just left it on.
Yep.
Then when he got one step closer to it, it's big praise. And he's all right with it now.
See, this is the thing. Your natural talent in dog training is impressive. 'Cause,
Yeah, it is.
Like nobody, I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody, but very, very few people would take that one step closer to it as a big enough leap to go and praise him. You know,
Yeah.
That is elite patience.
yeah, and but that's what it needs to be in things like that. That's what it's
100%,
supposed to be.
man.
And that's what I'm telling my clients all the time.
Yep.
Is like tiny steps. Like if you think that you're going to get them from here to here in 5 minutes, it's not going to happen. You have to
That's
build
right.
it up over time. And the fact, like, did you look up training or something like that before? Like, how did you
I think
find
the
out this
only thing
information?
I looked up was crate training because I haven't done that before.
Yeah.
That was just YouTube. But the other stuff, it was just, you kind of,
Just your intuition?
you kind of pick it up what they react to
Yeah.
and what works. Right? I mean,
Well, you do, but not
And
a
what-
lot of
and
people
what
do.
works, yeah.
It's funny how few people really just pick that stuff up just like that. Most of the time I have to explain, like, this is what you need to do, and it goes against what a lot of people are thinking, and they think that they can just, go way too quickly. The same as you would.
dogs don't know anything.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a-
They can't think like us.
That's
so
right.
It's just like,
You got to do it.
I take things like if I'm doing something new, like the skateboard, if even as looks looks at the skateboard in that one direction, awesome. That's
Yes.
something like that's
Yes,
Man,
exactly.
that's good stuff.
It's crazy that you haven't like studied this formally or like put any significant amount of like research and time into it, and yet
Yeah.
that's where you're at. Like that's crazy shit. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because like you would get kahuna, like so many people want their cake and they want to eat it too, and then they just give up.
Yeah.
And then they've got this problem dog that's like, well, I want him to do cool tricks too, but if you're not prepared to put the time and effort in and you don't have the patience and you don't know what motivates your dog and how to effectively reinforce behaviors, then you're never going to be able to do it. So I would say, and wouldn't you, that you have to first understand your dog, like get to know them, and then you can start building on top of that by once you know what they want, then you can reinforce it. And you've got to know how to properly capture the behaviors.
And that's what I've been telling people anyway. Find
Yep.
out what makes your dog tick.
Yes.
Number one.
Yep.
Does
True,
he like
true.
treats? What sort of treats does he like? Don't give him too much of it.
Yeah.
Because then when he gets it, it's awesome for him. Reggie just loves it.
called the jackpot,
Good
yeah.
old pat on the head.
Yeah, and that's what's fascinating is that had somebody else had Reggie, he probably wouldn't work for praise.
No.
But you've built that up in him. You've made him love the praise so much.
Yeah, that he's willing to
See,
work for
my
it.
dogs won't work for praise. They just don't care.
What do they work for?
They work to bite shit.
But you know that now.
Yeah.
I've known
And they'll
that.
pretty much do anything for them.
I knew that when I went to get them.
Yeah.
Like I knew what these dogs were going to do. They got food drive.
Yeah.
They got food drive, but like I'll be honest, I don't have the patience to teach them
Yeah.
the stuff that you've taught.
But they have
Reggie.
like a glazed look.
They do.
Yeah.
They
They're
just
like,
glaze
they're
over.
like they're always just like running around with this.
Oh man! Ever since I started working with a flirt pole, I made you both one, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
I made you a flirt pole.
That's awesome.
It's easy to make, and it changes. Like, so when I throw the ball to Joe, like he's just like, oh yeah, Dad's like doing the thing. But like when I get the flirt pole out, like he, like you said, he glazes over, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's he's like usually I'll walk up to him and be like, give, and he's like, release, but not with a flirt pole, because I've kicked him into a different level of, and that's what it's a great drive building tool. Mm-hmm. Like Arrow, I reckon he'd have a great time, and it tuckers the dogs out in no time, no time at all. You know, I started off working scoobs in opposition with Joey, because he was like a little bit like, oh, you know, whereas if he's up against Joe, he gives it everything he's got to beat him, and then like he'll just get it and he'll just run victory laps,
Yeah.
and then Joe will capture him and hump him to death. Have you come across any clients, Kahuna, that have that problem, like their dog's just bad for humping other dogs?
Yes, I have, but I often will address it like, so basically what I do is
How do you address it?
it'd probably be different than what. Well, no, it might be the same. So what I would do is manage the situation so that
Yeah.
they're not around
exactly.
another dog at all.
Yep.
And then when they are around them, then you have something in place that you can stop them from doing it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally every single time they do it. So if they're out running around, you either have to have a remote collar on them.
Yeah, that's what I
or-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a long line. So every time they go and try, you
Yeah,
pull
you
them off
framed
with
it so that they can't get there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have to have like over and over again. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then let them like so that they basically lose their freedom every single time that
Exactly.
they do it. Yeah.
There's so many different articles on it on the website, on the internet as well. Like some say that it's like masturbation and that they get positive reinforcement out of doing it. Maybe. I just think that he wants to tell Scoobs like,
Oh, I think
You-
in this case it's just
you're not
dominance.
the big dick boy. You're not
Yeah.
that big dick.
Big boy.
I'm the big dick boy.
Honestly, I think in this case it's just dominance. Like,
yeah, true.
When you look at the situation here, you got two entire male dogs. One's coming into manhood sort of thing,
Yeah.
and you've got one there that's the established dominant male. So
Yeah, Scoobs is going through changes.
yeah, he is.
I'm going Going through a check. I'm obsessed with that show. I reckon Scoobs has his own hormone monster as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure he does.
Jerk him off, yeah.
Do you reckon it'd be Maurice, or do you reckon it'd be the old dude with like the...
What you gonna do, baby?
No, it's the old dude. Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah. And Joey's is that like staunched out like...
The jacked up hormone monster. Yeah. You want a real girthy neck?
I looked at your penis. You got potential. If you guys haven't watched it already, go and watch Big Mouth on Netflix.
It's a savage.
It is
show,
savage, but
It is
it's
rated
so
R.
it is
18
so
plus.
good.
Yeah.
It's the best cartoon I've ever seen, and
It's
I'm a
pretty
big fan of
funny.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better than Rick and Morty.
I think it's Rick and Morty's kind of wittier, but it's
Yeah,
it's just to the point, brutal kind of.
Yeah, full on.
Yeah,
Straight
man.
in your face.
yeah.
yeah. We have taken some wild tangents and
Oh,
turns
man,
in this episode. So now that we've covered off on how you're a better dog trainer than I am, we're going to talk about this breed.
Okay.
We're going to talk about. Hang on. Why don't we?
You gotta-
Yeah, sorry. Mate, I just got to introduce. Where is it? Here we go.
I don't know what breed that it could be. Maybe a whippet or
Feel
a
free to sing along, dog.
breeze. But if you stick around, you will see. 'Cause it's time for breed of the week. I don't know what breed that it could be. Maybe a Labrador or SMG. But if you stick around,
Yes,
you
Kahuna.
will see. 'Cause it's time for breed of the week.
Oh. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
That's fun. That's fun. I like that.
Anyways, here we are for breed of the week. Let's see if we can take some even more twisted turns down the rabbit warren. But we're going to talk about the Australian Bulldog, how it came to be, and then we'll talk a little bit about the miniature variant, which is what you are so lucky to have your hands on at the moment,
Apparently,
Mr.
yeah.
Bilky.
Everyone wants one now.
Everybody wants a Reggie, but
Stocks have gone up.
his nuts are in the dumpster,
He's
or they're
neutered.
fertilizer or something.
He's
Who knows?
Spade.
What it,
Spade.
yeah.
Spade.
Neutered.
Neutered. I like it when you say it. But yeah, so what do you got for us there, big guy?
It's for the Australian Bulldog.
Yes, please.
All right. Australian Bulldog. So they were bred from the English Bulldog with
Yep.
boxers. All right? They were bred to do better adapt better in the Australian environment.
Yes.
So less
Yes.
rolls. Their nose is a bit longer.
Yep.
Their legs and torsos are a bit longer, just so they can manage the environment a bit better.
Didn't they? Yeah, exactly. Didn't they also want to breed a dog that had better ease in birthing?
I was
So
going to say so they could breed.
yeah, so
properly.
they could
Because
actually
English
breed
bulldogs can't.
English bulldogs.
They can't
They
physically breed
can't.
anymore.
They can't physically breed.
Yeah, so they need
Yeah.
human assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, which is not what you sort of would think. Like a person behind them.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like Frenchies. They have to
Yeah.
because their
So-
heads are so big.
For real, man.
Yeah.
So that's what they were trying to achieve by making the Australian Bulldog. Like
Yeah.
you said, I think I've done very limited research on
Sames.
this. But even like I read as well that it was an English Bulldog male that actually it might have been a female. I don't know. It was definitely one of the two genders that had been outcrossed with the owner's hunting dog, which was a bit of a mixed breed of varying sorts. And before people go like, oh, hunting dog, well, those dogs have to sometimes hunt in packs, and if they've got other dog aggression issues, then it's a no-go. So they probably saw it as a good fit that it's going to be dog friendly. It's going to have a more athletic body.
Are you saying they did so? The male that I'm confused. The male dog that they started this
Yes.
bulldog with,
Yes.
the
This
Aussie
is,
bulldog.
This is on one of the Aussie Bulldog websites.
So they've started this. So the first
First one
the
was
first one that came over here was a
pu-
mix.
Yes, no, it was a. This was in Australia,
Yeah,
so it was a purebred English Bulldog.
and then they had
Pedigree,
and
I
they put
think.
that one over.
Yes,
a,
over a hunting dog, which had varying other breeds in it. Probably like you said, boxer,
There's bull
American Staffy,
bull
yeah,
mastiff
bull mastiff,
and staffies as well.
yeah.
okay, so
it's a nice mixing pot of different breeds
Yeah.
that I think they wanted to keep somewhat the head.
The English Bulldog.
They wanted a
Even
smaller
the look.
variant. Yeah, exactly. But like a longer, slender body,
Yeah.
longer.
Fix some of the health
exactly
problems.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
quite functional body.
bang,
Yeah.
functional. So that's where we got to. And,
Okay, so out of those pups, then they started...
what they did was they put the I'm pretty sure it was the English Bulldog father back over the progeny.
Yeah.
And then they introduced another dog.
Again, everyone, that's normal in dog world.
It's line breeding.
Yes.
It's how a lot of breeds come to be.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how you get all your your spoodles and stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds weird to humans, but
it's
father-daughter
real.
things is normal.
Yeah, father-daughter, grandfather-daughter, grandfather-granddaughter, stuff like that.
That's why
Common
it's also hard to put a weight on how big they'll get as well, because there's
True.
so much of a mix in there.
That's right. And so they realised along the way that it was more so a 5/8 split compared to like the 6 or like 7 parts English Bulldog. They needed to refine it and get lighter breeds in there, because otherwise it was just
heavy.
the pups that would be thrown. And when I say thrown, nobody's throwing puppies around. It's what
they were too
dogs
big, they
would
were
be
just
born.
thrown.
Yeah, you're like, just see how far I can throw that.
Not too heavy.
150 meters, Josh. Wow.
Wow.
Someone ate their Wheat Bix this morning. I'm a big dick boy. Oh, you've been pretty quiet over there.
I was
on the
thinking
old
about which one I
soundboard.
was going to do with that.
You're being a polite Paul today.
I know, there's guests in the room.
Oh, there's the Canadian stripper music again. Dancing around
So
the campfire
sexy.
like, ooh, look at my tassels. Look at me. But what else you got there, Big Doogie? Big Dook boy?
That's it. So they try to just to breed out the common health problems of the English Bulldog.
Yep.
So I think they try to maintain at least 85 to 90% of the English Bulldog.
Yep.
And then the rest is whatever the other mix is, being Staffy, the Bull Mastiff, or the Boxer,
Yep.
just for the athleticism. Life expectancy is 10 to 12 years.
Are there any current health problems that you know of that still pop up in that breed?
No, as far as I'm like the breathing, they still snore, but it's not as.
I think some of them still have the
palate surgery?
that and the eye problem. What do we call that? You know where it pops out and the eyelid closes?
Yeah.
So some of them, but it's not as bad now.
Yeah.
I know that my mate, he had a big one, not a mini one, and it had Big Frank had that problem.
Right.
But how we got to the miniature ones?
So after they did the Australian Bulldog, they
Yep.
got the Australian Bulldog to mate with pugs and Frenchies.
Oh,
I know how much you love the pugs.
well,
Pugs are
I
funny,
do.
man.
They are funny
They're
as.
hilarious.
They're hilarious. And they were purpose bred to be super loyal and like just chillers, man.
Well, they're lap dogs.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were-
exactly. For like Chinese royalty.
Yeah.
So
Weren't they put before like queens? It was like
Pretty much.
kings, pugs, queens.
yes.
Yeah.
We actually, we did breed of the week on pugs like probably about a month and a bit ago, and the pugs, which it's super bad.
Yeah.
But they in the pecking order were above like
And especially if
female
they were
royalty.
male as well.
Yeah, for real, dude.
You'd have to marry into the family, and
Yeah.
you might receive a pug, and that's just
Yeah. You have to get the pug's blessing.
yeah. He's given the ceremony.
Does that mean yes? Or- he's just like passed out next to a packet of Doritos. It's like Dorito dust everywhere. Oh, well, I guess he said yes.
Okay, I guess we're married to a pug. How did I marry a pug?
Oh, comes the pug.
So yeah, and then that became the mini. So there's, which I found out recently because I've got a mate who's got a dog named Margot. I think
Yes.
you've known of Margot.
I know little Margot.
There's a mini Australian Bulldog.
Yep.
Mabs, which is what Reggie is.
Yep.
Which is the smallest type of, I guess, Australian Bulldog you can get.
Yep.
Mini Australian Bulldog. Then there's an Australian Mini Bulldog. So the two words are swapped around.
Okay.
And they're in between the Aussie and the minis.
Ah, okay.
So there's still a mini.
Because she does look a lot different.
She's nugget.
Yeah, she's a little nug.
So Reggie weighs in at a maximum on a good day. Maybe he hasn't exercised in like 3 days. 13 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lightweight. And then the in-between would be, I think, 19 to 22 kilos.
Yeah, right.
Ah, okay.
And then the
so there's
Aussies,
that much of a difference.
Yeah.
And then the Aussie Bulldogs
up to
are
35.
significantly big.
They're huge.
Frank was a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the kind of like the three variants of that, and I prefer the minis. And people when people see Reggie, they're like, "Oh, he's such a perfect size," because he's not a Chihuahua size.
But no, he's athletic.
He's a little nug.
Yeah,
out there.
He's a little nug, but he probably, like, not carrying all that weight around and stuff.
Yeah.
He's not going to have the hip and elbow problems that you might find in the heavier breeds and, develop arthritis.
I often find that with certain breeds, like even like Rotties and stuff like that, people think that, we need to put weight on them, and because it needs to be 50 kilos or 55 kilos or whatever.
Because of breed standard.
Stupid, and then they just have a fat dog, instead of having a healthy dog.
Rotties are real bad for it. I've seen pictures of Yoshi, and he was beautiful.
He was a good size.
Really, really athletic looking. You fed him nicely and stuff like that. But yeah, Cooney, you're right. People are like, oh, I need to make it as big as possible. Like, that guy? Remember, he tried to go and work his dog?
Yeah.
We won't name names. But I was like, this dog is fat.
Yeah.
Unfit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unnecessarily big.
Yeah.
That, like you said, man, I think a lot of people make the mistake of doing that.
And I think even the breeders tell them, they're going to be 55
Go make sure it's beefcake.
Yeah.
You go, big boy. I don't know why breeders speak like that.
Every single breeder I've met has spoken like that. I don't know why. What's wrong with this guy?
Now, what made you pick the mini Aussie?
Yeah.
It's funny because
we were having this conversation.
I did research. I was trying to do research for a dog that suited my lifestyle, and I was. I knew Josh was trying to get into training dogs as well, so we were just kind of doing a back and forth of what would suit me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We went through a bunch of dogs, and we ended up something affordable.
I can't even remember.
It was going to be in English.
So Frenchies were out as soon as you said affordable.
Yeah, no way. Exactly. Yeah. I was just like, no way.
Just walk around. They're like, I'm money.
I'm expensive. Like, Jesus.
Buy me a beret because I'm French and a baguette.
Yeah. So it was just we kind of stumbled across the mini. My sister found it. Mini on like Gumtree or something.
Shit.
And she was just like, look at these little bastards.
Cool, man.
And I was just like, oh, he's pretty cool. But I thought he was going to be a lot stockier. His brothers and sisters they got shorter legs, and he's quite athletic. So that's where the kind of the breed is kind of weird because you
still
don't know
varies a bit.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, because there's so many different breeds in
That's
there
right.
that you're probably going to get like those variants of.
Well, it's going to be a fairly new breed. How old is the breed?
So I think
I think it started in the early 90s with the Aussie Bulldog, and then the mini Aussie Bulldog or the Aussie Mini Bulldog.
Mini of 2011.
Holy hell! You're
2011.
confused with this mini Aussie.
Yeah. So
the Aussie minis they're not registered yet at all
with the Australian
Bulldog
ANKC.
registration. Yeah. So they've got another maybe 2 or 3 years before they're
and then when you add more time to it, then you'll get more consistency.
That's right. Yeah.
So he was 4th generation out of his litter. So not even technically the breeder was a breeder yet. What is it? After five generations, she's like, after 5 generations, I can be a registered breeder.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'll take the 4th generation, and just ended up with Reg.
Yep.
Pretty good size.
His body is like a mini boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People think he's a boxer.
Yep.
Yeah, but he
does sort of look like he's got like a sort of American bulldog head. I'm looking at him now. He's looking dead into my eyes. He's like,
I want to look at him.
He's like, you have no soul.
He's like, help me, Dad. Look at his face.
Just go get him. Bring him in here.
Okay.
Bring him in here. All right. We'll just play some elevator music. Come in here, Big Reg. Not you, Arrow. Oh, shit. It's a Mexican standoff. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Whoa. Oh my god.
Hey, bud. Hey, bud. All right.
All right, hang on. What? All right, I'm going to pause this. Hold on. Okay, so we're back.
That was
intense.
That was funny. That was funny.
I thought for sure we were gonna have to replace all the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was close to happening.
Did I mention that Arrow's a maniac when he runs in the house?
Dude.
And he's all of like 40 kilos plus.
Yeah.
How heavy is he?
He's probably 40.
Yeah, he's a lean 40. So he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Causing some big waves. Oh shit. Oh shit. Anyway, we got the next segment coming up, but it's a little twist on it this week because it won't be your regular favorite answering the questions.
Oh, am I answering?
Oh, I think you
Some of
might be.
Some of them. You guys can help.
It's question time for Big
Duck.
Why is little Fluffy always shit on my dude?
Book.
Why she like my girlfriend when I'm trying to school?
All these questions and more on Big Duck's mailbag. That boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got there, Dookie?
All right.
What's the first one you got?
Question one.
Question one.
When your dog hits a frustration wall, learning a new trick, how do you overcome it?
Great question.
So,
It is a really
Do you know
good
who
question.
that's from?
nah.
Oh, it's okay.
I mean, inundated
That's
with
from
messages, man.
that's from Cindy in Indianapolis.
Oh, man. I've probably got...
I just gotta do that.
Yeah, just
If you
make it
don't
up.
tell us your name and
We're just gonna create a place and a name for you.
you're just gonna sorry.
Anyway. So, for me, we haven't learned a new trick in a while because I'm kind of just happy with his set. But I will teach him something new. So, it would be... if he's learning something new and he's not getting it, I would either leave it,
Yep.
like completely. It doesn't really bother me if he learns it or not. I'm in no rush to kind of get Reggie to learn a new trick.
So
Nice.
just having patience about whether or not he gets it
Yeah.
right at that moment, or
Yep.
you push it for a longer period of time,
Well,
which is
it's-
sort of what we talked about.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah.
rather if I lose patience, I'd be like, no, that's enough for me. I'm kind of
Yeah, true.
easy with leaving it. I would, if I realize he's not getting the trick, I'll take a step back or take a step down and try to approach it where he can understand. Can you hear him snoring?
Yeah, I can.
All right,
I couldn't tell if he was snoring.
He's,
or
that's him
farting.
he's snoring with his eyes open.
So, for instance, when he was learning, so Reggie presses the doorbell to go outside to go potty, right?
That's hilarious because he gets
Yeah.
he's
He's
like get her!
busting, and he'll press it. He never presses it when anyone's asleep, which is like
That's
he picked
He
that
just
up himself.
pisses on your head when
Yeah.
you sleep.
So he pressed the doorbell. So he didn't get it the first time. So I had to take a step back and kind of teach him to touch my hand first.
yep.
All right, he got that, and then I would put the doorbell in my hand, touch that, put it on the floor, and then he'd still go for my hand, but then I'd move my hand closer. Like just little
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
steps where he'd understand. Like dogs are just babies learning, and the thing is, like they
Yeah.
learn. They have to start again every single new trick.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not always linear.
So once he hits a wall like that, I just got to realize that if I'm rushing him, then he's not going to learn it. Then I just got to go back and start again.
I think you said it perfectly when you said if they're not getting it, go back a few steps and let them get some wins. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if he's getting frustrated, it's because he's not getting enough wins, and which means your positive bias is off. You
That's
know,
right.
and so go back a few steps, get them to get some more wins at the easier steps, and then work your way back forward again. You're talking like you've bloody done dog training for
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's more
20
like,
years.
if he's not getting it, it's not his fault, it's my fault. So I got
Exactly.
everything the dog does is based off how you have brought them up.
Yep.
So that's kind of he's dead to the world. So if he's not getting it, I have to change my attitude and to
And
help,
maybe
help
tinker a
him
few.
win.
Yeah, exactly. You go.
I bloody love it.
Yeah, how
I
good is
love
it? If everybody was like you, Duck.
Then I wouldn't
Like-
have a job.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, that's the harsh reality of the situation. Yeah,
Well, that's
it's crazy,
basic.
man.
It's actually quite basic, like thinking like that.
We need to get you to make a Reggie movie,
Oh yeah.
and then
Like,
You just leave us
Where
in
he
the
just
dust.
goes and
A Star is
sleeps
Born.
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. A Star
yeah,
is-
where he sleeps and stuff. Yeah,
No,
that's
but
it,
then like you become this world-renowned movie training dog.
Ooh, oh, I see what you mean. Now
Yeah.
that made more sense to me. So get
You
him
need to
in
meet
a movie.
Yeah. Hopefully when we get Zelly Bullen on the show.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
We can put these two together. And
Yeah.
we already have a following for
Yeah.
the movie.
And then you become like an elephant trainer. Like,
It's gotten out of hand.
I'll turn Reggie into an elephant trainer.
you got another question there, big guy? Or?
Yeah, just some basic questions that I getting asked a lot.
Reggie.
At what age did you start training Reggie? So I got Reggie when he was 7 weeks.
Yep.
And 6 days or something. So
That's
The
pretty cool.
optimum time.
Optimum
yeah,
time.
like perfect timing. But I was like, whoa, I was doing something. I was away. So I got him. I personally got him around 8.5 weeks or something. So I had a friend look after him. So
Yep.
I trained him straight away. I even on the leash,
Nice.
getting him close to the leash, so he would love walking. We wouldn't go as far as our driveway. Anywhere, anything to do with training, I just try to do it. The breeder already got him to sit, which is good. He was
Yep.
a little toilet trained already, so everything was kind of already in my favour, just off the get go because of the breeder.
Yep.
Yeah, train him ASAP, really, as soon as you can. But I try not to overload him because he's freaking 8 weeks old. What
Yeah.
Working at their level,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you train them as much as they can do at that time. Essentially, I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
Mm.
That's
so
fantastic.
what they're capable of, and he's a sleepy dog, so if he wants to sleep, he can sleep. I don't really care.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Okay.
And one more there.
One more.
You got one more there for me.
This one probably ties in anyway. Did you
I can see you hovering over the soundboard over
I
there.
want a few more sounds on this.
did you focus
Well,
on
tell me
only...
what you want.
God,
Sorry,
shut
mate.
That's rude, Josh.
That is rude.
up. Did you focus on only one trick at a time, or did you go through a set of tricks? So, obviously one trick to start him off. Once he gets it, I kind of rehash it the next day, very briefly, just to kind of see if he's still got it. And then if I want to add another trick that same day, he can.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go past layering 2 new tricks on each other.
Yeah.
But then once
Because you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul.
yeah, that's right. So, but once they learn how to do the basic tricks, like anything really, the sit's a basic trick and it's great for everything.
Yeah, because it's a control.
It's not even
position
a
if you do
trick.
it right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even a trick anymore. And then you can start stacking tricks, and then so here's 3 tricks that he does in a row, which is just down, relax, which when he lays on his side, and then he rolls over. All right. So I rehash by coming back to those 3 tricks and trying to skip the sequence and
Yeah.
maybe get to the end
Yep.
by just telling him to roll over instead of down first. So that gets him
Right.
thinking a bit. So I do like him thinking for himself. So I don't. So sometimes I'll bring out a trick. He'll sit down, roll over, and I haven't even asked him anything yet.
He's
Yeah,
offering
He
that
wants
behavior.
it, and I'm like,
So he's starting to offer behavior
Yeah.
straight away, and
Yep.
and the ones that he knows that are going to get him
Yep.
good things is
Yeah.
what he's doing. Yeah,
but he doesn't get anything from
One of the,
yeah, exactly.
one of the ones that I really like that you often show on Instagram, and I think it would tie into a little bit of contextual learning. So you're on the couch and you're about to leave the house, and he has to go and get his items to make that happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was relatively new as well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what I think that may be is there's a little bit of contextual learning there in that he's like, okay, so I know Dad's got his clothes on, he's sitting down on the couch in this position, and then you say things and he goes and does those things, which is very impressive because he discriminates between, if you say leash, he brings the leash and not
Yeah.
the collar.
Yeah.
But if you say collar, he's like, I've got to get the collar, not the leash.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool, man.
So,
So
yeah.
effectively you've taught like a version of the forced, well, not the forced retrieve, but the targeted retrieve,
Right.
which is amazing.
At a domestic level.
But at a really high level.
It's not really at it.
It's at a very, very high level.
Yeah.
It's just with domestic
Because
a domestic application,
Right,
Is what
right,
it is.
right,
Yeah,
right.
because
But it's not at a lower level.
he is discriminating.
Yeah.
Like I have no doubt that within a week you could like where we are in front of us, there's a heap of like old wine bottles and stuff there because we're alcoholics here in this house. But you could go and get him to single out one of the 5 there.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
could.
reckon I'll be able to do
You'd
that.
be able to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because he's already doing it.
I reckon
Just adding new objects.
probably
Yes.
one day.
Not
He's
even a
pretty
week.
good.
Sorry.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
Like just before when we were out in the back garden, there were a heap of dog toys on the ground, and you're like, go and get one, and then like he started investigating, and then he waited and hovered over one until you said yes, and then he picked that one up. Like
Yeah, so you could just name it, and then
Yeah.
he goes and works it out.
it's
But see, this is a dog that understands
incredible.
how to learn now.
Yes.
You know, and that takes time. People aren't going to be able to watch your page and go, "Oh, I want my dog to do that." You've done this. You've set him up for this.
This is 2 years worth
yeah.
of learning.
Yeah, that's
This is
right.
2 years worth of neural pathway shaping.
Yeah, and people have to start that back from the beginning again. You know, so
Yep.
Yeah.
when you do want to go and get into these types of things, just start with small things and get your dog to understand that they have control over their environment. You know, and
Exactly right, man. That's what I saw as soon as, he's not afraid to come to any new environment. He's straight away.
well, now he's
He,
an arrow.
he loves new environments, man. He froths.
It's just something different. But straight away he's looking for things that are going to get him praise rewards or food rewards or whatever.
What's
man.
fun for him?
What's
He's just
fun?
like, what's
Yeah.
fun? What's fun? Yeah.
Can we get him over here just to have a little growl?
Come here. Oh, you're a bit tired, aren't you, bud? Come
That's all right, mate.
If you don't want to growl, Reg, you don't have to.
I beg to differ.
here. Reg,
You will do
sit.
it.
Ooh, what's going on here? Speak.
Oh, good
okay.
boy. That was a loud one.
That was a good boy. Let's do another one. Hey,
okay.
all right. Growl. Hey, listen. Growl. Shush, shush, shush. Sit. Listen. Growl. 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 Yes. Growl. 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 Quieter. Growl.
See? Yeah.
Growl. 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 Yeah, all right.
See how you've done it's a bit different. The context is a little bit different, but
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's become so good at that behavior that it was so easy to get through real quick successive approximations just there.
Because it's a new place for him.
Exactly
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And he's like, well, I've just speaks easy because I just go, bah! Like just get it all out. But it's a more controlled effort to just growl.
Yeah.
Because for him, it's a natural thing to just go, well, I'm going to continue on with this and raise the level.
Yeah.
But he has to hold it there. And because you've done such a good job training him and letting him know how to figure things out, he was able to really quickly
He was so
adapt.
distracted by the other
Yes,
dog.
exactly.
He was like, "What's it?"
But he works so well within environments where there's lots of distractions.
Yeah, well, this is one of those things that I find really interesting is that contextual learning where when they do go to a new place and then you start them back at a lower level
Yeah.
and work them back up again,
Yep.
which is exactly what you're doing there.
Yeah.
You're not getting mad at him for
Exactly.
barking.
You knew that
You're-
eventually he would come through.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
have to take your time.
But someone,
You know?
this is what happens. Someone will do things at home, and then they'll go to a new place, and they'll ask their dog to, even if it's something so simple as sit.
Yep.
And the dog doesn't do it, and then they get mad
then
at
they
the
get
dog.
mad.
They're like, he's just not listening.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, he
doesn't
just
get it.
doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I actually
exactly.
learnt that on this show, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah, the contextual
You dirty
learning.
little
I was like,
dog.
But actually, after learning that, I was like, okay, I'll give him a bit more, a longer tether.
Yes.
A
A
bit
bit
more
more
patient.
leeway.
Yeah.
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 But you were doing that anyway, man. You didn't need us to tell you. We just put a term like we named it
Yeah,
for
right.
you. I've known you for a long time, and I've seen videos of how you train Yoshi as well, and it's very similar to the way that you've done it with Reggie. And you knew all this without knowing it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, I'm not pissing in your pocket, but if a lot more people were like,
What does that mean? Is that a good
It's
thing?
an
or a bad
Australian.
thing?
Yeah.
It's like blowing
Well,
smoke up your ass.
Ah.
Yeah.
Get that smoke up there, dingo. Bend over and I'll puff some smoke up you.
Love it how we have to put on an Australian accent. This is the American version of an Australian accent.
Yeah.
This is an American version of it. No, that's not it.
Anyways, I just realised I've got to go to a funeral today.
Oh.
I
That puts
forgot
a damper on
because
the
I
day.
would have just sat here like staring at the microwave for like another 3 hours, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, I got to go to a funeral today.
It's fun. Thanks for sharing that
It's,
with
yeah.
us. That's really making it.
Good turn of the show there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Thanks, mate.
This is another one of those share moments that we didn't ask you for. So.
Well, that's true, but I feel it's appropriate because it gives substance.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
What do you got on, Doc?
I'm cooking Vietnamese food for my friends.
What's it called?
It's called bánh hỏi.
Oh, you tasty little.
It's called bánh hỏi. It's going to be very delicious.
You should
Again,
crack me up
I'm allowed
every
to say
time. Yeah,
that.
you're allowed to do it. Can I try?
No.
You certainly cannot try. I don't think your audience would like that very much.
I do every other accent.
Yeah,
like I'm terrible at them all.
Steve
though.
normally stops you from doing the Asian ones.
Yes, I do.
he does.
I
He's
do.
salt here,
Sometimes I
'Cause-
sneak them through.
Because I understand that that's just terrible. You shouldn't do it.
Well,
It's a
is it?
Now that it's not an Australian show anymore, you can't
True.
be casually racist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't
that's
be-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like racism,
Yeah.
but anyways, can we count on you? Like, it'd be good to have you on a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want, man. I'm just down the road.
I know. Yeah.
20 minutes away. I will do that. I have a couple new tricks coming up for Reggie, I think.
Oh, what do you?
I might actually record,
Well,
record
exactly.
them.
Don't tell us now
Okay.
because we want to talk about him in a few weeks.
Okay.
But you can tell me when I stop because I want to know. I hate surprises. I really do.
You going to surprise yourself? Is that what you just...
Yeah, I'm going to surprise him.
No. Okay.
Xanadu. Hey, on cue. Now we are here.
There you go, man. My fucking chef and most goodness is like to ask for.
You should do this all the time.
Oh, you have to.
Press it again. All right, and on that note, I think we will get you out of
Yeah,
here.
thanks.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I don't know how much we've covered off on that's going to be remotely helpful, but
We never know, do we?
Yeah, I
20% relevant.
I had a bloody good time doing it. Yeah, but thanks again for listening to episode 11 of Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs. We'll be back next week before I take off to Bali.
Ooh.
Yeah. Going to Bali, bitch. Are you going to Bali too? All right, I'll see you there. We're going to talk about it.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go. You stay classy, San Diego.